Hi, welcome to Quilting with Lori. My name is Lori Dickman. Today I'm going to be sharing with you the second table runner for the year. I shared with you in January my snowman table runner, and this video today is going to be the Valentine table runner. It is a fun one. We're going to have two heart blocks that I'll show you the applique techniques I'm going to be using there, and that center block has a special technique that I'm going to be sharing with you on sewing that block. Here are some of the supplies that I'm going to be using for these two blocks. And I've gone into my 2.5-inch container and grabbed 2.5-inch squares from this container that I'd like to use in this block. And so I have, and also in the border, because the squares are going to be used all the way around the border as well. So I have some lights, some mediums, and some darks. I've already put together one of the flyaway squares block. And you'll need 2.5-inch squares, and then you'll need 2.5-inch with the fabric strips that you'll subcut into 6.5-inch lengths. And so there are four 2.5 by 6.5-inch lengths that you'll need there. This is my 10.5-inch background square for my heart. And as you can see here, I've already traced my heart applique template as well as the arrow. This is the top of the arrow and the bottom of the arrow. I have traced them, and fused them onto some wool fabric. I am going to actually use wool, but you could certainly just go ahead and grab 6.5-inch squares from your stash and use quilting cotton, or 2.5-inch squares from your stash from the darks for these arrows, whatever you'd like to do. To create this flying squares block, you're simply going to put the 9 patch in the center, and I've used lights and dark squares in the center. And you, of course, can change out the value placement for your block. Maybe you'd like to reverse values and have darks where the lights are and lights where the darks are. Whatever you choose, have fun with your block. But I've got the 6.5-inch rectangles out here. I've got a 9 patch here, and then I've got 4 of the 2.5-inch mediums right there. What I'm going to do is simply put this 9 patch block together first. Then I'm going to sew these strips together, the rectangle with the 2.5-inch square. I'll sew all 4 of those units together. And then you're probably thinking, wait, Lori, you're going to have a hard time attaching that around the outside of that 9 patch. But there's a trick for that, and I'll show you how that's done. First, I am going to simply lay the 9 patch by my sewing machine. I'm going to web the block together as you've seen me do many times. I'll start up in the left-hand corner, flip this over here, start sewing, flip this here, continue sewing, flip this here, continue sewing. So I'll have that sewn together, and it will be webbed by the thread that has webbed those 2 columns together. And then I'll add this, this, and this. And then I'll be able to sew the rows. And I like to press my seams open. As you see here, I do use a shorter stitch length when I press my seams open. So I use a 2.0 stitch length, and I've pressed all of my seams open, and I square up this center 9 patch to 6.5 inches. Then I'll show you what we're going to do to attach those outside rectangles. I've sewn my 9 patch together and squared it up to 6.5 inches. I have pressed all of my seam allowances open. You can certainly press your seam allowances to the dark, but I do like how nice and flat all of my seams are where they butt together, and it's just nice and flat for quilting. Now, we are going to go ahead and put on the outside rectangles. And as you look at this, you're probably seeing an issue already. However, there's a simple way to be able to attach these rectangles. And let me show you how that's done. You're first of all going to start with one of these rectangles and match it up to the bottom there. And as you can see, it extends beyond the 9 patch. And what you're simply going to do is start at the edge here and sew over to about this point. You're going to leave about 1 inch. That's going to be left unsewn. Do not sew beyond that point. So sew about maybe 5.5 inches right here, 1/4 inch seam allowance, and stop. Then you'll open it, and I'm going to press my seams open. Then I will be able to attach this one. It will fit beautifully there. I'll press it open, and then I'll be able to attach this one. It will fit beautifully there. And then last, I will start sewing this one. And because this has been left open a good inch, I can go ahead and attach it, and it will fit beautifully. And then the last thing I'll need to do is finish sewing from here to there to attach that last piece. It's a very simple technique. I will sew each rectangle and I'll bring it back and show you what I've done so that it's clear to you how I'm piecing this. I've sewn this first seam. I started at the edge here and sewed it to this point right here, and it is open. So as you can see, that is open there. I started stitching here, ended here. I didn't backstitch because we're gonna go ahead and stitch over that, and that will be the very last seam that we do at the very end. And we're going to stitch this block clockwise. We're gonna stitch it clockwise. You could go counterclockwise. It just depends on how you start. But in my case, I'm gonna be stitching it clockwise. And of course, that has been left open. Now this fits beautifully. I'm gonna go ahead and place it on there, line everything up, and stitch all the way down. Press it open, then lie this one across here, stitch the seam, and then do the same with this. So I'm gonna go ahead and put these three on, and then I'm gonna show you how to attach this last section right here. So as a quick review here, you make sure it's all in the screen for you. I started with this rectangle. It started with this peach color here, and I sewed down to about an inch from the very edge. I sewed that on, then I sewed this rectangle from the beginning all the way to the bottom. Then I sewed this rectangle from the beginning all the way to the bottom. Then I attached this rectangle from the beginning all the way to the bottom. And now I simply have to do this last seam. So I can attach that, continue sewing there. I'll stitch over that ending stitching that I had done previously to secure it, and then I can press it open, and this block will be done. I'm gonna press this one and square it up to 10.5 inches. Let me finish this seam, then we're gonna go on to the heart applique blocks. Now it's time to create the heart block, and you'll get a template page with your pattern. I am going to applique my heart using wool fabric, but again, you can certainly grab your quilting cottons from your stash, grab the 6 or 6.5 inch squares, and that would work great, pink or red for your heart. And then you'll need a darker color for your arrows, and I've got 2.5 inch squares pulled for that. I am going to use a 2.5 inch square of wool for my arrows. This is going to be the thread I'll use to applique my arrows, and this is the thread I will use to applique my heart. I have creased the center of the block both vertically and horizontally, so once I have my heart cut out, I can center it properly on here. Let me show you what I've already done here. I've traced the templates onto fusible paperback, and you can actually just see through the fusible, lay it on top of your elements that you've got on your PDF, and trace this heart twice, trace the arrow top and bottom twice. And you only need one sheet of the 8.5 by 11 paperback views to accomplish this. So I've already traced and cut out one heart and the arrows, and now they have been fused to the back of the fabric. I'm going to cut them out. I'm going to center them on this background block, and then I'm going to applique it. And so I've got the second one here that I can take to my iron, fuse it to the back of both of these, and then cut them out once it's cooled. This one has cooled. I cut it out on the line, pulled off the backing. I can pull off the backings for both of these. And then I can center this heart on my block. And once you're pleased with how it's centered, make sure you've got, the same distance around. And then you can also add your arrow. And I'm going to do 2 hearts. So with my arrow, I'm going to make sure that it's facing in one direction on one side of the table runner, and then I'm going to make sure that I attach it this way for the other block on the opposite side. So there are going to be there's only going to be one of these center blocks here and 2 heart blocks that I'm going to make. You might make yours longer. You might only use heart blocks. And you can certainly put your heart block together any way you choose. But for me, I'm going to put this one in the center. It often, in the table runner, this center block typically has a vase or something over it, and you can't really see what's under there. And I want my hearts to show. And the quilting, that will be around the heart. So I am going to place one heart on one side with the arrow going this way, and then on the opposite side, I'm going to have the arrow going in this direction. So the first thing I've got to do is I've got to finish cutting out the other one, fusing and cutting out the other heart, and then I need to center them on the background pieces, fuse them down, and then applique. I've appliqued my 2 blocks. I simply did a blanket stitch around the edges of the heart and the arrow. You could, if you chose to, if you have some DMC pearl cotton, something like that, you could hand applique all of this. I did mine on machine, and I just used some rayon embroidery thread to do my applique. So I pieced my block. First of all, I had to square them all up to 10.5 inches. Then I pieced them together. So now I have my 2 hearts on the outside and this flying squares block in the center. Now we're going to create our border using squares from my stash. I'm simply going to use the darks and the medium squares to create a very scrappy border. You could certainly make yours more controlled scrappy. You could do whatever you choose to with your border, but let me lay that out and I'll show you what it looks like here and as soon as I get it laid out for you. I've just very quickly thrown out here around the border 2.5-inch squares. I have darks and mediums, and I've just placed them all the way around. There's 22 mediums, 22 darks, and of course, again, you can create any sort of border that you'd like. I am just taking advantage of using my scrap stash. So I'm going ahead with the 22 medium and 22 dark 2.5-inch squares. I'm simply going to sew them 2 by 2 and continue sewing in a chain stitch manner so that I get the whole thing ready. I will sew these, let's see, 3, 5, and these 5 together and attach to the end, and then the bottom of them I'll sew together and attach to the top and bottom. I've attached the side borders to the side of the quilt. I've pieced the long top and bottom border. I'm going to go ahead and piece that in my quilt. My table runner is ready to be quilted, bound, and labeled. I've completed the table runner and I have quilted it. I did some echo quilting all the way around the hearts. And I used my ruler and did some ruler work here. And I just did some free-form hearts all the way around the border. I did some 1/4-inch inside stitching here on the rectangles. Very simple quilting, very quick. And then I attached these wooden buttons with some of the DMC or the pearl cotton. And I just tied a little bow, but I attached the little buttons there to the center of the hearts, of those wool hearts. I've got it bound. When I did bind it, I used a fancy stitch, a decorative stitch on my sewing machine to stitch it down, and it is ready. I get to go put it on my dining room table. I'm excited that it is finished. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. Please, if you do like the content that I provide, don't forget to like and subscribe and leave a comment. I love to read the comments from my viewers. Thanks so much for joining me today. The link for the pattern will be in the description box below. And don't forget to use your scrap stash. I hope each month when I share with you a new table runner that you will dive into your scrap stash and get it used to make some beautiful table runners. So until next time, happy quilting.